Dick Dickinson devoted a lifetime to the betterment of his community, his family, his groves, and most of all, Florida Farm Bureau. Raised and schooled in Jacksonville, he moved to Gainesville and attended school at the University of Florida. He only attended 2 years before the Korean conflict broke out. He was honored to qualify for the seaplane pilot program, and he served as one of the youngest seaplane commanders in the Pacific at the time. Most pilots he flew with all had been graduates of the Naval Academy, but Dick was proud of his 2 years from the University of Florida. He was married to the lovely Ann Wardlaw, affectionately known around Florida Farm Bureau as Miss Ann, who has been a lifetime proponent of everything Farm Bureau.
They both had Farm Bureau in their blood. I mean, when they bled, it came out screaming Farm Bureau.
We had our wedding date set for October 27th, and the first thing he said, no. And I'm like, why? He said, because we got Farm Bureau convention coming up. I said, I mean, that's how dedicated he was to it, you know. It was more important than his daughter getting married.
Dick and Ann had cattle, groves, and other side businesses. One in particular was the TBA distributorship for Farm Bureau.
They could buy car tires, tractor tires, truck tires, batteries, all sorts of car accessories, fence posts, anything. And it was a nice deal, and he did that. You know, and anything he could do to promote Farm Bureau, he always did.
Dick was active in Polk County Farm Bureau and on the state board. He served as secretary of the Florida Farm Bureau Federation during a period when times were tough in the 80s.
At the time, Walter Couts was president, and Walter would ask him to go to these different counties and sort of smooth over the feathers, because we were kind of going through a hard time with the insurance company, and policies were being canceled, and Walter would send Dick to these to sort of talk with the county boards and smooth some feathers, and he was really good at that. He wasn't pushy, but he got his point across.
In addition to his Farm Bureau leadership and involvement, Dick was active locally.
He was mayor of Frostproof, and then later, many years later, I decided that I wanted to get involved in what was going on in Frostproof. So I ran against the incumbent, and I won, and then I was elected mayor for 2 years. So we were both mayor of Frostproof, both served on the city council. And when you live in a small community, everybody has to pitch in.
His leadership style was strong and effective.
Mr. Dickinson could be intimidating, but he had a great heart, a good heart. He was real. He was an original. If he believed in something, he fought to the end.
He was an exceptional leader, and he was one of those kind of people. He served both on the county board and the state board, and it didn't matter who it was. If they had a problem, they could come to him, whether he was in the diner or on the street. It didn't matter, and he wouldn't just listen to them. He'd do something about it. He'd do his best to solve the problem.
Not only did Dick give of his time and talents to Farm Bureau, he encouraged one of Farm Bureau's other staunch supporters and a 2015 Distinguished Service Award winner in her own right, Mrs. Ann Dickinson.
He was probably one of the few men that encouraged their wives to become involved. He believed that you had a role to play, and that you needed to do that, to perform that role. And he encouraged me to become active in the citrus business. And at a time when women were not involved in citrus. That was a man's field, and but he thought I should know how to run the business if I ever came to the fact that I was the one who would have to would be left with the groves to take care of. So he encouraged me there, and he encouraged me to become active in Farm Bureau.
Dick Dickinson was married to Ann for over 60 years before he passed away in May of 2017.
He was a great friend and a phenomenal leader.
I really miss him. I miss him a lot because he was, more than my father-in-law to me. He was like my father and my mentor.
Well, we've both worked so many years in Farm Bureau that it's really nice that both of us have been recognized for what we've done through the years.
For his tireless 6 decades of service to the vocation of agriculture, Florida Farm Bureau is proud to recognize James Dick Dickinson as the Distinguished Service Award recipient for 2017.